Hey guys, Trainer DC here, coming at you with another video. Is Pokémon Legends Z-A in the past, or is it in the future? When the trailer came out for Pokémon Legends Z-A, it was very clear in the beginning of the trailer that we were looking at a game that was taking place in the past. Because of the drawings that we had and the blueprints and whatnot, it was clear that this was a game similar to Legends Arceus. However, when the trailer shifted into the neon bright colors that we saw, it all of a sudden took on a futuristic perspective and started looking like, oh, we're going to the future or a modern setting in this game. So which is it? Are we going to be playing in the past or in the future in Pokemon Legends Z-A? So initially my perspective on this was when it said the Kalos redevelopment program for Lumiose City, I thought, okay, this is taking place in the future because Kalos, Lumiose City, those obviously exist in present day X and Y. We are redeveloping Lumiose City in a futuristic setting. However, I think I was wrong on that initial take, because a lot of people have pointed out that France actually had a redevelopment program for Paris back in the late 1800s, around the same time that Pokemon Legends Arceus took place in the real world time, because it's taking place around 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s Japan in Legends Arceus. We're assuming the same thing is going to happen for Pokemon Legends Z-A, given that in the real world France, they actually had a redevelopment program for Paris in that time, and that is actually when the Eiffel Tower was built. And a lot of Pokemon games, they do take inspiration from the real world. So because of that, I do think we are going to the past in Pokemon Legends Z-A to basically a Lumiose City that maybe hasn't been fully developed. Maybe it's a city that the center of it is fully developed with the Prism Tower, but then the outer portions of this city are still vast wild areas, and essentially we're going to be surveying those areas to see what Pokemon are there to complete the Pokedex for the eventual finishing of Lumiose City, for the more modern Lumiose City that we see in Pokemon X and Y, where there are no real wild areas. It's all buildings and whatnot, because that's essentially what happens in real life when cities are built. Forests are destroyed to make room for skyscrapers. That's kind of how it works when it comes to building cities. Cities weren't just there when the world was created. They were originally vast lands, vast forests, mountains and hills, and that was all gone in order to make a city take its place. But that still brings up the interesting point of what was the futuristic stuff, those neon colors in the original trailer, because that definitely is giving off a future vibe and hinting that these games could possibly take place in the future. I think that there is a possibility that this game has some sort of time travel element within it. Maybe we switch between the past Kalos and the future Kalos, the past Lumiose City and the future Lumiose City. In general with Pokemon lately, they've been relying a lot on the themes of past and future and time travel. If you recall Pokemon Legends Arceus, when you start the game, Arceus pulls us from the present day to throw us back in time to Hisui to help solve the issues that are happening with Volo and whatnot, and obviously play through the entire story of that game and make the first Pokedex. All of that's because we time traveled to the past. In Scarlet and Violet, one game is themed about the past and one game is themed on the future. There are Pokemon in that game that are from the past and from the future in Paradox Pokemon. Pokemon has been relying heavily lately on the themes of past and future, and what would be a more fitting way to tie that all together than to have a game that you can play both in the past and the future. I'm not saying that this is something that's definitely going to happen, because this is a bit more ambitious for Game Freak to do. However, on the Pokemon website it says this is the most ambitious progress they've ever done, they've ever taken up, so maybe this is something that's happening. And we know as well that the entirety of this game is taking place in Lumiose City, and that's something that I know a lot of people have been a little concerned about. How can an entire Pokemon game take place in one city? I myself am a bit concerned on this as well, because Pokemon in general is a franchise that's really based on exploring the wilderness to catch these wild Pokemon, so I'm not sure how a game taking place in an entire city would play, unless if, like I said, the past Lumiose City is only developed in the center of it where the Prism Tower is, and the rest of it, the outskirts of Lumiose City, are still wild areas that we have to traverse and catalog to show this redevelopment plan, whoever's organizing it, that hey, this is what the landscape looks like, this is what we can do with Lumiose City, this is what we can't do with Lumiose City. That is a possibility as well, but how cool would it be if it's only taking place in one city, because there's two versions of that city. There's one that takes place in the past and there's one that takes place in the future. Like I said, I don't know if this is something that Game Freak would necessarily want to do, but they did say this is their most ambitious project ever, and there are definitely hints towards the past and the future in the trailer. trailer of Pokemon Legends Z-A, so who knows? Maybe we are going to a past Kalos, but then we're going to somehow time travel to the future Kalos. Maybe this all ties into the story and everything that's going on with this new A legendary that they're teasing in the logo of the game. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I made a video discussing that topic. I'll leave a card above to it. But for now, it looks like we are definitely going to the past, but maybe we'll go to the future as well in this game. We'll have to wait and see on that. But until then, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. Do you guys think this game is taking place in the past or in the future, or is it possibly taking place in both? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from Trainer DC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.